Hello again, my name is Mike Vorel with Casper, Star-Tribune, and Pokes Authority, and this is the Pokes Authority Vidcast brought to you by Wyoming Central Federal Credit Union. Wyoming is coming off of a win, 45-17 on the road at Fresno State, snapping a 4-game losing streak, and the Cowboys are returning home to Laramie on Friday night, where they'll play Utah State. When you look at this matchup, I think you got to start with Wyoming's offense, which has been rolling of late. 45 points against Fresno State, 387 all-purpose yards for Brian Hill. Really a good performance on both sides. Colby Kirkgard has not turned the ball over in the last 3 games, so the Cowboys seem to be rolling on that side of the ball. But they've got quite a challenge on Friday night. They're going to be going against a Utah State defense that's first in a lot of categories in the conference. First in sacks, first in tackles for loss, first in interceptions. It's a very disruptive defense. So we'll have to see how Wyoming's offense fares against that Utah State defense. Specifically, if Wyoming can establish the run as they have been with Brian Hill against the Utah State defense that's also first in the conference in stopping the run. We'll see how that all kind of settles itself. As far as the offense goes, Jake Malhart, sophomore wide receiver, had his first touchdown of the season against Fresno State. We talked to him on Monday. Here's a bit of that interview. All right, I'm with sophomore wide receiver Jake Malhart. Jake, obviously getting a touchdown in this past game, but the offense as a whole was rolling. Do you feel like you guys are starting to kind of click these last 2 performances, being able to roll up some yards and some points?
Yeah, definitely. I felt at the end of the Colorado State game, you saw it a little bit, and then it kind of moved over to this game, and we're clicking the running game, we're clicking the passing game, so I felt that everyone is starting to feel a lot more comfortable and getting used to the system.
How much chemistry, I guess, do you have with Colby? I see you guys before every game, you go out there and you're some of the first guys out throwing routes and stuff. Just how much kind of chemistry, I guess, do you have with him at this point?
I feel like I have a lot. Me and Colby we're roommates. He's one of my best friends, and so we've been throwing together since early of last year this time, or once the season ended. And so we have a lot of chemistry, and so I feel like we're starting to hook up more and stuff.
With, getting that win against Fresno, how much do you think that kind of propels you guys, or how much momentum do you feel like you guys have now going into this home game against Utah State?
I feel like a lot. That was a must-win for us. The other past few games didn't turn out the way we wanted, but we're still in the hunt, and so we just need to focus on Utah State, and it gives us a little confidence booster to know that we got a win last week.
How did it feel to you? Obviously you got that first touchdown of the season. You had, I think, a deep ball in the week before that. Do you feel like things are starting to roll for you a little bit, where you're able to, make some more big plays as the season goes on?
Yeah, I feel like every week I go in prepared, and so when my number's called, I try and make a play on the ball, and so the last 2 weeks I was able to do that.
How big of a challenge is? I know you haven't seen a ton on Utah State, but very, very physical defense. They've been one of the top defenses in the conference. Just what kind of challenge is that to go up against a group like that?
It's going to be fun. I haven't watched as much film as I'd like to, and we'll do that as the week progresses. But we know they're going to be a good team and everything, and they're always physical. They were very physical last year, and we'll see how last year was a different offense, and so we'll see how this defense matches up against this offense we have this year.
When you look at Wyoming's defense right now, there's a lot of guys that stepped up in the win over Fresno State that hadn't done a lot before that. You had Tyron Finley, who played some big-time snaps and had the first 2 interceptions of the season for Wyoming. Guys like Seth Adine, a walk-on from Cheyenne, who had a sack. A lot of guys just kind of came together. Will Tutine, his first start, had a number of tackles, played well. And a lot of those guys are going to be asked to do the same thing again against a Utah State team that has a freshman quarterback. Tutine is probably going to start again at safety. Dean is probably going to play some at defensive end. So those guys who really stepped up in the Fresno State game are going to be asked to kind of replicate that performance on Friday night in Laramie. That's it for this time. Until next time, my name is Mike Vorel. Take care.